please welcome Bec Goddard.
What an introduction. I'm not sure I can live up to that. What a season. To think after 2 straight losses to start the season and then on the weekend be half a game away from playing in a grand final is actually quite remarkable if you're looking at the glass half full, which of course I am. I'm a very positive person. But really, it is a credit to the character and belief of the playing group, and the ones especially that weren't selected each week. I know how hard that is, and the great, small and dedicated group of train-on players that also committed to making us better this year. We really are blessed at the Crows to have a strong group of women that stick to what they believe. When a win is a win, as my grandmother says, doesn't matter how you get it, a win is a win, a goal is a goal. When true is true. And tonight wouldn't be a night unless I told you a story that related to that. So let's talk about a couple. Let's say, for the sake of the story, the name of the 2 people in this story is Rebecca and Lydia. And Rebecca and Lydia are an elderly couple living somewhere in Australia. And every year, Rebecca says to Lydia, "Lydia, this year when we go to the Royal Easter Show, I want to go on a helicopter ride." And she says, "Rebecca, I know you want to go on that helicopter ride, but $50 is $50. We're not going to spend that money." And every year, Rebecca says, "Okay, no worries." Anyway, in her 87th year, they go to the show, and Rebecca says to Lydia, "I'm turning 87 this year. I may not get another opportunity. I want to go on that helicopter ride this year." And Lydia says to Rebecca, "I know you do, but $50 is $50. And fortunately, the pilot flying the helicopter happened to overhear the conversation and says, "Listen, you 2, I will take you on this helicopter ride on one condition, that you don't make a sound. If you do that, then the helicopter ride is free, but if you make a sound, it's $50 each." So Rebecca looks at Lydia and says, "No problem, I can do that." Lydia says, "No problem, I can do that." They get in the helicopter ride. The pilot does loop-de-loops, spins them sideways, tips them upside down, and they safely land. And the pilot turns around and says to Lydia, "My God, Lydia, I don't know how you did that. I was sure when I tipped you upside down that you would make a sound." And Lydia looked at the pilot and said, "Well, I nearly did when Rebecca fell out. But $50 is $50. So girls, stick to your beliefs, all right? Always go with your gut feeling and keep being amazing role models and leaders in your field. And thank you to Lydia, my partner, for being a great supporter and a notorious tight ass. Thank you to our sponsors who help us do our best work every week, our co-major sponsors in WorkSkill and BHP. And look, really, I need to say how important they are, particularly when it comes to diversity and inclusiveness in the workplace. Because unless we have diverse and inclusive employers out there, then people like myself or our players may not be able to do the work that they do. So I'm very lucky that aside from WorkSkill and BHP sponsoring us, that I've got the Australian Federal Police who are very flexible in what I do with my work, and I want to thank you for that. Our premier partners, the South Australian Government and the Northern Territory Government, Thomas Farms and UniSA, and our official partners, of course, in Toyota, Statewide, Super, the RAA and CompNow. I also want to personally thank Michael Solomon at AFLNT for his personal care and deep conversations when the time has happened, and I'll miss you, mate. Thank you. Thanks to the Adelaide Football Club Board and FAGS for their unwavering support of what we do. And now I've got a few personal thank yous to our special staff, and I know the girls will want me to thank them. To Brad Newton and Jordan Seller in Adelaide and Robbie Butcher and Dave Crane in the NT, your high performance management is the best in the AFLW. Thank you to Louise Small and Belinda Creer and Kelly Venice on growing our athletes in season 2. To Shelley Figgett and our amazing trainers, thank you for keeping our girls physically together. To Dr. Duncan Walker, or Dr. Death, as he became known to me, Duncan, it was always a term of endearment when we're discussing Erin's quad. Thank you for putting up with my limited Google medical experience. And to Nags also for sticking the girls together. Lauren Vanderloo, your work at training and on game day never goes unnoticed. And to Gemma Prendergast, your snacks and very small skin folds I've noticed that you've been kind enough to give the girls has been very helpful this year. Thank you. Thank you, Craig Burford, the best drink steward we have ever had. The little things that you provide us with, as well as permanent hydration, has certainly kept me looking young. Warwick Raymond, your tackling, coaching has placed us and Dana Cox undoubtedly as the most uncomfortable in the competition to play against. Thank you for your work, mate. Vicky Doldy, our new footy ops manager, thank you for your support of me particularly, and when we had losses, your mere presence around me and the playing group in a practical manner, and very matter-of-factly getting us into a new week. Nathan Frick, thank you for all your irrelevant statistics and your relevant ones. Thank you, Phil Harper, for always treating the girls the way they deserve to be as great athletes and ambassadors of the club. To Tash Wade and the entire digital social media team, thanks for selling us to the world in excellent fashion. I swear you could sell chickens to Colonel Sanders. And lastly, but certainly not least, our magnificent assistant coaches, Mark Moody, Brooke Copeland, Andrew McLeod, Peter Caven and Tate Kasler. Together we are a very good-looking coaching team. A special shout out to Andrew Hodges, who not only is a really great senior assistant coach, he is a head coach in his own right, and without him I'm not sure where I'd be. Thanks, Hodgie, for everything you've done for footy up in Darwin and for providing some common sense midfield advice over 2 seasons now. I want to take a second to personally thank our leadership group in Chelsea, Erin, Courtney, Sally and Ange. Thank you for your honest opinion and raw emotion that make you the best leaders in the competition. I also want to take a second to thank Ange and Jazz, in particular from Darwin, the personal sacrifice you make every week to travel for game day, and what you do up there away from us is significant, so thank you. And of course to my magnificent playing group, we talked as a team at the start of the season about how success is rarely lonely. It is forever accompanied by criticism. We've stuck together under challenges that we haven't faced before, and we will keep our lift to success moving upwards. Let's get better in the off-season and be half a game further in season 3. Stick to your guns, girls. $50 is $50. Thank you.